my name is Elizabeth Messenger. I am the Director of Outreach and Education here at NeedyMeds. Thank you for all taking the time to attend this NeedyMeds webinar. We're really excited about today's topic, HEALfundr, which is a NeedyMeds project, crowdfunding your power to heal. We're really excited to share our new project with our website users, so we'll be doing that soon. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping things. You will remain on listen-only mode for the duration of the presentation. If you do have any questions or comments that you want to share with us, you can go ahead and type them into your questions bar in your control panel, and our presenter will be answering questions at the end. So again, anytime you think of a question, go ahead and type it into your questions bar, and we will be answering questions at the end. The slides will be available after the webinar. You'll have contact information to request a copy of the slides. And a recording of this webinar will be available on our YouTube page, as well as our video page on our website within the next few days, probably by the end of the week or early next week. So you will be able to get a recording as well as a copy of the slides. So before we get started, we are just going to do a quick poll to see how familiar everyone is with crowdfunding. So I'm going to go ahead and launch that poll now. So if you'd like to start answering, how familiar are you with crowdfunding? I've never heard of it. I basically know how it works. I've donated to a crowdfunding campaign. I've created my own crowdfunding campaign. So we'll give you just a little while to respond to that question. Go ahead and type in your answers. Okay, we'll give everyone just another few seconds, and we'll go ahead and close the poll. Okay, so it looks like we have a big percentage of people who have no idea what crowdfunding is, which is great. We're excited to share this with you. That's 60%. Then we have 35% who have a basic understanding, and 5% who have donated to a crowdfunding campaign. And none of you have started your own, but maybe this will be an opportunity for you to create your own crowdfunding campaign after today's webinar. So with that, I'm going to pass it along to our presenter, Evan. He is the project manager for HEALfundr, and he's going to be telling you all about it. So with that, we are going to go ahead and start the presentation.
Hi everyone, my name is Evan. I am the project manager for HEALfundr. We're all very excited. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our new webinar. Our mission at NeedyMeds has always been to help people facing problems paying for medications in their healthcare, and the rise of crowdfunding has opened a lot of doors for those in need. So since a lot of you don't really know what crowdfunding is, you're probably asking yourself, what is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding refers to the practice of collecting many small donations towards a larger single goal. Kickstarter is what comes to mind for most people when discussing crowdfunding, a site that helps people fund creative projects. Kickstarter projects usually offer rewards for pledged donations, most often in a copy of whatever creative work is being funded, be it a film, a musical record, a book. However, there are other platforms that are used for charitable or human interest campaigns, anything from recovering from a natural disaster or personal tragedy to funding honeymoons. Since 2008, over $100 million has been raised through charitable crowdfunding. There are now over 500 different crowdfunding platforms covering everything from creative works, charitable organizations, and even equity investments. So with so many different platforms already available on the online marketplace, you might be asking why we developed another one. HEALfundr is unique in several ways, taking what we feel is the next logical step in crowdfunding for medical expenses. We verify 100% of our campaigns, something not offered by any other crowdfunding platform local to the United States. Our other crowdfunding platforms, are self-policing, in essence, allowing the users to flag fraudulent or inappropriate campaigns. We take guesswork out of whether a need is legitimate, so donors don't need to worry about losing money. Funds collected through HEALfundr are paid directly towards medical expenses. Other crowdfunding platforms send money directly to the campaigner. Most platforms state in their terms of use that they are not liable for any misuse of donated funds, as once the money is in the hands of the campaigner or beneficiary, there is no guarantee the money will be spent as described in their campaigns. With HEALfundr, every dollar used is used to pay bills directly, so there is never any question of whether the money gets to where it's needed. Also on HEALfundr, funds exceeding the financial goal are designated by the donor to go one of 5 different ways. 1, they can go to the beneficiary as cash for other expenses. 2, the donor receives a prorated refund. 3, Donor receives credit usable on HEALfundr to donate to another campaign of their choosing. 4, the money gets split between campaigns fighting a specific diagnosis or supporting patients in an affected area. Or 5, donate the remaining funds to NeedyMeds. Other crowdfunding platforms that allow for a goal to be surpassed send the money to the campaigner, who is under no obligation to spend the money a certain way. And of course, all HEALfundr users have access to NeedyMeds information and resources. Our aim is to give everyone who needs it the power to heal. Medical bills are the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. Lack of funds can prevent people from seeking out a doctor or buying prescription medications, leading to potentially worse financial and health problems if their condition persists. According to a 2011 study by the National Bureau of Economic Research, nearly half of American adults said they wouldn't be able to easily produce $2,000 in the event of a medical emergency. It's with all of this in mind that we have decided to give the power to you. You can harness the power to heal yourself by raising money through your own campaign, or you can use that power to heal others with the power and scope of the internet. Here's where we'll walk you through the basics of how HEALfundr will work and how you can take control of that power. Again, we'd like to remind you that you can post questions anytime, and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. Creating a campaign is the first step to utilizing the power to heal. Anyone in the United States or its territories with legitimate medical expenses can sign up and apply for a campaign. In the interest of helping as many people as we can, we don't put any limits on insurance status or income level. Anyone in need can apply. To verify campaigns, we require a letter from a diagnosing or attending doctor. In case we have questions, we ask for a release form allowing the doctor to discuss the patient's health care with us at NeedyMeds. This extra step ensures no funds will be misappropriated or used fraudulently. Nonprofit organizations, medical facilities, and medical research teams can also apply for a campaign to support communities stricken with a medical condition, purchase medical equipment, or other related costs. Your campaign page, as you see on the screen, is where you can tell your story, post pictures, and share updates on your treatment with those that helped make it all possible. Donors can leave words of encouragement at the time of their donation and see how much of their goal has been funded. This is where you will be able to direct your friends and family on social media and the link they'll share to spread the reach of your campaign. Medical bills requiring payment need to be uploaded using the HEALfundr website, where they will be approved and paid for with the crowd-raised funds. The beneficiary only receives direct funds as designated by the donors if the financial goal is exceeded. Bills will be able to be paid only when the campaign has raised enough funds to cover the costs. We will coordinate with the beneficiary and their service providers to determine the order in which bills are paid. Campaigns can, of course, be held in many different situations. Individuals can use HEALfundr to help cover unpaid medical bills, purchasing durable medical equipment such as wheelchairs or other assistive devices, or financially help those with chronic conditions or experiencing a medical emergency for which you're not prepared. HEALfundr is still in its beginning stages, and as our mission is to simply help as many as we can, any and all medical expenses are applicable, and anyone in the U.S. with its territories is eligible to apply for a campaign. Organizations can also raise funds in HEALfundr, as I mentioned earlier. For example, a nonprofit could fund a charity golf tournament to support a local community suffering from a specific condition, or a clinic or hospital could fund an MRI or other needed equipment. Donors can even have a hand in fundraising for researchers developing new treatments for diseases. Donating to HEALfundr campaigns is quick and easy. Donations can be made with credit or debit cards on the HEALfundr website, processed by authorized.net, or by mailing a check to NeedyMeds with a printed payment slip. Donations made by credit card are subject to small processing fee through Authorize, as well as a sliding scale administrative fee for HEALfundr, which we'll touch on in a minute. Check donations will not be charged a processing fee. Managing your campaign is also efficiently done through the HEALfundr site. Here's where you'll be able to submit medical bills for payment, as well as upload any additional supporting documents needed for your approval. It's also where you'll be able to write and post updates on your treatment and the campaign as a whole right to your campaign page. Donors who have selected to stay updated will receive the update in an email. You'll be able to change or add photos shown on your campaign page. And lastly, you'll be able to see a complete list of all your donors, their comments, donations, and an option to send personalized thank you letters. We at HEALfundr will adjust the financial goal to cover the cost of all medically relevant bills and all associated fees. We may even be able to lower the total needed through our medical bill mediation connections. As you can see, HEALfundr is truly unique in the realm of crowdfunding in several ways. We are the only US-based crowdfunding platform to verify 100% of our campaigns to protect our donors from being deceived by fraud. Crowd-raised funds will be paid directly to service providers to cover bills, whereas other platforms send the funds to the campaigner, who at times isn't even the person in need. Due to our nonprofit status and low overhead, we apply a sliding scale of fees to all of our donations. 5% for the first $20,000 raised, 3% for the next $30,000 raised, and 1% in all the remaining funds collected. Under no circumstances will any campaigner or beneficiary ever pay for any fees out of pocket. We will adjust the financial goal to cover the cost of all care and fees. Other crowdfunding platforms apply a flat fee to all donations, usually between 4 and 12%. It's up to the campaigner to set their goal, keeping in mind these fees. HEALfundr donors designate a use for the funds that may exceed the financial goal of the campaign, where other platforms send all funds to the campaigner who may not have a plan or obligation to spend the extra funds in any way. With over 16 years of connecting people with patient assistance programs, medical bill mediation, and discounts on prescriptions, we at NeedyMeds have an ever-growing database of resources that can further assist users and even lower the campaign goal. As a NeedyMeds project, HEALfundr is entirely owned by NeedyMeds and operated by its employees. We at NeedyMeds hold ourselves to a higher standard of attention and care and are more than happy to spend extra time with a user coordinating their campaign or need help navigating the site over the phone. We will share campaigns on our social media pages, but the largest impact will come from the campaigner and beneficiary's personal networks. The NeedyMeds helpline is also available for all users, potentially connecting the user to more resources to help cover medical expenses, and they can be reached toll-free 1-800-503-6897. Users will also have access to the free NeedyMeds drug discount card, saving up to 80% on prescribed medications. I want to thank everybody for attending today. I hope we've started getting the word out and are ultimately able to help a lot of people with HEALfundr. We are now accepting applications and actively looking for what we hope will be our first campaign hosted on HEALfundr. If you or anyone you know is in need or interested in using our new program, or if they have any additional questions, go to our website at www.HEALfundr.org or contact me directly. I'm the project manager, Evan O'Connor. I can be reached at Evan, E-V-A-N, at NeedyMeds, NeedyMeds.org, or on the NeedyMeds business line at 978-281-6666. I will now answer questions, so go ahead and type those in if you haven't already, and I will get to them as soon as I can. We have one question asking if it be used to pay for old bills. We are anticipating that it should be able to be used for any situation. The president of NeedyMeds has gone through a lot of trouble trying to get this to work for as many people as it can. So anyone who needs help with any medical bills is free to apply for a campaign, and we'll help anyone we're able to. For people who aren't clear on the relationship between HEALfundr and NeedyMeds, HEALfundr is NeedyMeds for all intents and purposes. It's just a project we have made, a separate website we've made, but we are all controlled by the same people. The donor would know about the HEALfundr is by sharing it through social media. That's one of the main parts of crowdfunding. Is social media has had a huge part in the spread of campaigns. So if you need help, you post it on your Facebook or your Twitter, and then people will donate from there. They can share the campaign on their own networks, and then networks spread out, and you get more and more attention through there. Let me see. The funds can be designated in any way that they need to go. Our president has talked about being able to pay for anything. If you have to travel long distances, if you submit that in your campaign description and you submit the bills, we will cover anything we're able to cover The question we have here is, can you mention any examples of how crowdfundr has helped a patient? HEALfundr, as it is now, has not yet. We're still looking for our first campaign. But crowdfunding has helped many people in medical needs. There's definitely other platforms out there that definitely do that, but we're trying to take the next step and help people pay their bills directly, whereas others would send the funds to the campaigners. And if someone's asking if there's any limit on personal income to begin a campaign, not at all. All campaigns are, anyone who has any income status, any insurance status is welcome to sign up and apply for a campaign. All we require is you're a resident of the United States or its territories and have legitimate medical expenses. We have a question regarding the fees. The fees come out of the contribution. So say you're donating $100 and it's part of the first $20,000 of that campaign, $5 would come out of that. If it's part of the second $30,000, only $3 would come out of that. So yeah, the percentage comes out of donations. The donations are all grouped into the campaign fund, and the funds are paid to the service providers, and the very small percentage goes to our admin costs. When we say a verified campaign, what we mean is that we know that the person actually has a legitimate diagnosis, they're actually receiving treatment that they need help paying for, and no one's being lied to. No one's saying they have a condition that they don't have, and no one's paying for bills they don't really have to pay for. We are open to funding mental health care. The medical bill mediation that we offer wouldn't be available for that because the group we connect to through them don't cover medical health issues, but we can definitely help cover them through the HEALfundr website. When we say medical bill mediation, we ourselves at NeedyMeds are not working with insurance companies to lower bills. We have a connection through a third party known as the CARIS group, where they work with the service providers and try to lower the bills as much as they're able. And if we have a question asking if contributions are deductible, that is a great question, and it really depends. In most situations, they won't be, but in some of the options for what you can do with the extra funds donated to campaigns, some of those options could be tax deductible. You definitely want to check with the tax professional before making any claims to the IRS. And cosmetic services funded that would help aid a client in living a normal life. Again, we will accept anything as far as we're going right now. If you apply for a campaign, we will do everything we can to help. If it's not something that we're covering, we will definitely let you know. But if something that we can help with, we will do everything we can. And that's all the questions we have time for. Anything else I can get to you, I'll probably respond to you by email. And I'm going to hand it back to Elizabeth. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Evan. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're really excited to be presenting this information to you. As Evan mentioned, NeedyMeds has always been about helping people find assistance with the cost of medications and healthcare, and this is just another way that we're hoping to be able to do that. We're always looking to expand what we do. So hopefully you learned a lot about HEALfundr and this new project. Maybe you have a campaign that you think might be able to help you or a friend or a loved one. So definitely get in touch with Evan if you do want to inquire about setting up a campaign, or if you have any questions at all. You can also contact Evan for a copy of the slides. He'll be happy to send those out to you. And you can, again, visit our webinar page, our videos page on our website, as well as our YouTube page for a recording of this webinar that will be available in the next few days. So please go ahead and check that video out. And remember that we hold regular webinars, monthly webinars going over our resources, as well as special topics like webinars like this one that we think will be useful to our website, people that use our website. So please check back to our webinar page for upcoming webinars. So thank you all for attending this NeedyMeds webinar. And Evan and I both hope that you have a good afternoon. So thank you very much.